Hello, all. Welcome back. We're talking about Excalibur number 9 this morning. At this point, there's so many things, so much pop culture and entertainment that's either being delayed or pushed back or just outright canceled. It's a crazy time right now, but at least at the moment, we've still got new comic book day. So, thank goodness for small favors at this point. But there are a couple new X-Men titles this week. I'm just going to look at Excalibur 9 in this live stream. There was also X-Force number 9 came out today, but I haven't read that yet. And also, not related to X-Men, but I think I'm probably going to do a review stream for Spawn. Spawn number, I think, 306 came out today, and that's got art by, well, actually, maybe there is a loose X-Men connection because Philip Tan is back on art duties on Spawn, and I believe he's done some X-Men books in the past. But anyway, you know what you're here for. You're here to hear about Excalibur number 9, so let's talk about that. Also, excuse, please, whatever technical difficulties I might be having. I'm not sure if everything's streaming appropriately, but I hope it is. I know I've had some sync issues the past couple weeks with the audio and video, and I've been trying to sort that out, but, it's always something, right? But with Excalibur 9, great issue. I really am glad that we've got the main creative team back on this. It's the return of the artist Marcus Toe, who did the first couple issues, maybe some in the middle too, but hasn't drawn every issue. And I miss him. I miss him when he's not there. And I'm sure other fans do as well. But he rejoins writer Teenie Howard for issue 9. And at this point, it's like, all of the pieces are in place. All the characters are here. We've basically got our main Excalibur team. We've got these sort of subplot characters that come and go as required by the story. And it's like Pete Wisdom and Megan who show up in this, as well as the former Captain Britain, Brian Braddock. But we've also, like I said, we've got the main team, which, if you were like me, you were probably thinking at the beginning, like, this is such a strange team or set of characters, collection of characters to call Excalibur. When you get Gambit, Rogue, Jubilee, Richter, it's not the names, the characters that I immediately think of when I think about, who's on the Excalibur team. But so far, they've made it work, and they've made them, well, I wouldn't say more British, but, speaking of being more British, there's like heavy spoilers for this issue. Very last page has a preview of what looks to be like alternate universe or alternate dimension versions of these characters, but they're wearing more English-centric Union Jack British Excalibur uniforms. So that makes me think that it's not these main 616 dimension versions of the character. I could be wrong about that, but it seems like, again, because we're dealing with the Omniverse here. We're dealing with Saturn IX as this sort of multi-dimensional guardian character trying to protect all the different dimensions and universes, the Omniverse, as Marvel calls it. She sees that Excalibur, and I guess more specifically Apocalypse, is standing in the way or causing some disruption to the natural order of all things intergalactic and omnidimensional. So she basically attacks. Saturn IX sends her priestesses out, the Starlight Citadel priestesses, to attack Excalibur. And then, that's not going to do it. Excalibur rebuffs that advance. But then the last page, like I said, is she's like, okay, well, I guess I'll do what it takes to knock this team out. And it's like there's these characters behind her. Can't tell if it's like what, like looking into, like a witch looking into a scrying pool. But it looks like we've got some alternate dimension versions of Excalibur coming in. But that's just a thought for what could happen next time. If you've got your own theories, either let me know in the chat while we're live, or, if you missed the video live, you could always leave a comment below. So other stuff in this issue, like as I was reading this, I wasn't just thinking about the issue of these are not the main British X-Men Excalibur characters, but I was also wondering, like, are characters like Rogue and Gambit and Jubilee, are their characterizations consistent? And I think there is some evidence for that. Like for a couple pages, I was thinking like these could be any characters. I don't know what makes this specifically Rogue or this specifically Gambit, but there was at least one really good line I thought from Rogue in here where all the Excalibur team is like setting up camp in Otherworld, and they're all sitting around the fire, except for Betsy Burdock. Not quite pictured here. I'm drawing Psylocke, who you might know as Betsy Burdock, but this is more like, the Asian version that we had for 20 plus years until she got her body back. But anyway, slight tangent. So Rogue's saying, Betsy is distracted, and Rogue comes up to her and she has this great line. So compliments to Teenie Howard for writing this. But Rogue says, when you're sitting alone amongst company, means you got another conversation on your mind. Now imagine that with that deep Southern accent that she's always got, even better. So I think that's fairly consistent. I think that's good for Rogue's characterization from what we know about her. This consideration for other people, other mutants. And another one, I think good characterization is Jubilee. She's had this baby for a couple years now. But because of Marvel time, the baby's never going to get any older. But this baby Shogo, it's so funny. I mean, it's funny to me, number one, that in this new title, Excalibur, whenever she brings the baby to Otherworld, the baby turns into a dragon. So that's hilarious. And then it's also very funny that in this issue, she's basically negotiating. She's trying to bargain with the baby, who's just a baby. But she's saying, like, please, calm down, go to sleep. If you take your nap, I promise you can go to Otherworld and be a dragon for a whole week. Which is, again, funny, but it's like, it gets a little less funny. It gets a little more dramatic, I should say. Near the end of the issue when they have the fight, because there is, again, like those priestesses attack, right? And the first thing they do is attack the dragon, which is okay as long as it's a dragon, but it'd be a lot more traumatic if it was still a baby, right? All right, I'm going to move on to some other parts of the page here. What was I working on up here? Oh, yeah, this Wolverine arm. Yeah. So what else in this issue? Oh, yeah, we also have, like I mentioned, the return of some of these subplot characters, like Megan is going undercover at Clan Akaba to find out what they're up to under the discretion, the authority, the orders of Pete Wisdom. But I think she's a bit of an empath, right? That character, Megan. So she's really horrified, more so than usual, by what the clan is up to, which is ritual sacrifice, if you didn't know. So, a little horrifying, but as far as Marvel Comics go, a little bloodless. Not as extreme as we would say, like some of the imagery in X-Force lately, or especially Fallen Angels. That got very, very horrific at points. But yeah, that's basically it for this new issue of Excalibur. What else was I drawing here? Oh yeah, I was drawing this Brood based on X-Men 8 from last week. Got to draw the Brood. But yeah, I'm going to keep it a short stream today. I actually, unfortunately, have other pressing real-world issues I got to get to. But I want to talk a bit about X-Men and give you a preview for what's coming up later in the week. I can also give you a preview for what's coming up next week for X-Men comics. This is kind of an off week for X-Men. Only X-Force and Excalibur came out. And I like them, but they're not my absolute favorites. Again, my absolute favorites are the main title. And we got another issue of that coming out next week, X-Men 9, as well as the launch of a new title, Hellions. Hellions #1 with, I believe, art by Stephen Segovia. And I was actually copying some of the art from a future cover for that. This is, I believe, like Stephen Segovia's cover for Hellions #2 or 3. But I redrew it. I redrew his Psylocke in my own style here, based on that cover pose. And I'm looking forward to the launch of that title because I really like this guy's art. And also, what else we got? The giant-sized Nightcrawlers coming out next week, as well as, is that all? Oh, Wolverine #2. That's a great one, too. So, I might quibble. I might say Marvel would be better off if they didn't put all of the big releases, because I think like Wolverine and X-Men especially are huge releases. If you got a #1 issue, that's a huge release. You got a giant-sized special issue, that's a pretty big release too, in more ways than one. So it really seems like it would be better to spread that out a bit, rather than put them all in 1 week and then have like this light week the week before with Excalibur and X-Force. But what are you going to do? Monkey C has joined us in the chat, and they're saying, that's awesome. Thank you. I think you're talking about the art. It's very nice to hear that sort of feedback. So kind. But, you know, I can't complain too much. As long as the comics keep coming. You know, let's compare that to what's going on with movies in the theaters right now. It's crazy, right? Like AMC has shut down all their theaters, at least temporarily. All these movies are getting pushed back. So even Wonder Woman and Black Widow, I talked about this last Saturday, about how a lot of movies were getting delayed. Fast and Furious 9 got delayed a whole year. And now, same with these movies that didn't get pushed back. It's like there's going to be like nothing in the theaters. So, you know, compare that, at least at this point, we've still got comics. So I can't complain too much unless, you know, they don't release any comics next week. If they ended up delaying everything and we don't get Wolverine 2 or X-Men 9, what am I going to do? Just going to freak out. Monkey C also says, I wonder if the local comic book store would let us pick these up or have the new comics shipped. I don't know. I don't know what they'll... At this point, I know that my local store is still open as of this week, but it's an ongoing issue. They might change, like, maybe a delivery method or curbside pickup. We'll see how it goes. But, you know, I hope they get to stay open because I like to go in and browse, too, when I go to the comic store. I like to walk around and check out what else is there and maybe experiment and try a new title. But, yeah, that's basically it. Like I said, I'm going to keep it short this time. And I want to thank everyone. Thank you, Monkey C, for joining me live. Thanks everyone else that watched it live or will check out the video after it's posted. I always appreciate that. If you enjoyed the video, please do smash the like on the video and make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tap the bell for notifications. Tell all your friends about it. And I will see everyone next time. So until then, if you're an artist, keep drawing. For everyone, be good. Have a great time. Stay healthy. And I will see you thinking on Saturday. So I'll see you then.